I used to think if I was alone, I was behind. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to convince or to say, you should do this, you should do that. I'm not even going to sit here and say that I'm not going to sound a little envious of you babes that are in a happy, loving fucking relationship. Just kidding. I love you and I'm glad for you. In this day and age, wife them up. Today, I just want to talk about the lies. The lies of it all, though, because there's so many. Also, sponsor me, Poppy. Oh, there's so many lies that surround this whole concept of being, if you're alone, you're a loser. And you know what? What if I am? And what if I want to be? Welcome back to Controversial Crash Out. I'm your host, Aaliyah Snyder, aka Miss Leah Jane. It's back. We're back. Eventually, we're gonna get these out on Spotify, y'all. But for now, you get to look at me. You get to hang out with all my besties. Controversial Crash Out, the podcast where I talk about the things that everyone thinks that no one wants to say out loud because they're afraid of getting canceled. Not me, though. We haven't gotten to the worst yet, though, so stay tuned. Being alone does not mean you're a failure. Let's talk about it. Now, if you see me looking, I do got some notes here because I got a lot of points I want to get through today. So I feel like as people, we all have goals. We all have our concepts and ideas of success for ourselves, for others, and what we think it should be and what it shouldn't be. And, not everyone, it's obvious that not everyone thinks the same of what success is for themselves versus someone else. One of those things in life about success, especially, now this is the POV of a 22-year-old, so keep that in mind. I'm not that old, but I'm getting there. This is more for for the babes that are, late 20s, even mid 20s, early 30s, even up and above and beyond. I feel like the first thing y'all start thinking when you get to that certain point is like, okay, you reach 25, 26, 27, and you're like, I don't have kids. That's a problem. But in reality, no, it's not. Because, if you know you want to have kids, that's something on your success list, that's a dream of yours, it's what you want to do, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Because if that's what you're feeling, that's what you're thinking, that's what's is calling to you, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Divine timing, y'all. Relax, it's okay. The next thing that obviously comes with the whole having kids thing is the whole having a partner. Some people think that if you don't find your true love by the time you are freaking 22, aka me, by the time you're in your early 20s to late teens, you're never gonna find love ever. You're never gonna be picked. You're never gonna be with the person you're meant to be. First of all, let's get this out of the way. Every relationship you've ever been through was a lesson that you needed to learn in life. If you're with your high school lover, congrats, y'all push through those lessons together. We need to understand that the whole concept of partnerships and relationships are very much so glamorized by social media. And it's not even the relationships, it's the constant connection of them. And as people, we need that just by nature. That's just something we crave and we want and we need to have and feel and hold, to borrow something blue, something red, something to do, whatever. Don't get too trapped in that. If you want a family, because I'm someone that wants a family. I want a family. I've been through numerous relationships. Sorry, guys. My bad. Turn your sound off. I've been through a handful of relationships, all long term. And each one was at a different, literally, looking back now, I just see how each phase of my life, that relationship made sense. Because there was my first relationship where I did all of the things, was together for 5 years-ish, 4 years. And then the one after that was during one of the lowest points of my life. And we were, and, yeah. And then there was the relationship after that where I thought I was healed, but then learned that it was manipulative and I wasn't actually being true to myself. And then the relationship after that, it was just a lesson of how to be able to move around the world away from my family to pursue what I want. And also be able to break ties from really toxic people. If you're going through all that stuff, and you may not be one of those people that's oh, high school sweethearts, well, you're supposed to be learning those lessons, because learn them now or learn them later. Exactly. Stay with me now. But again, enough on the relationship rants, because that's its own thing and a half. But there's always a purpose for everything that happens. Just remember that. I'm back on track. It's like social media has glamorized that constant connection with someone so much. And also ourselves. I mean, I'm a yearner. I romanticize the fuck out of my dream partner. And like, I think about them all the time. No idea who it is. But you know what? It's just something that happens. And I just sit there and I think, I'm like, wow, I can't wait to be at home cooking breakfast in the morning, the kids going to school, and get a little kiss on the cheek. Like, we all do this. We're all guilty of this. This is something we all do. But the problem with that then leads to like the panic that comes with that, the happy thoughts. I mean, it's like you feel like you're losing if you're not surrounded by, you know, that constant connection, that energy, that feeling of love, which also, side note, I have noticed in myself has come in multiple different other ways. That could be just like who you work with. That could be like friends you've had your whole life. Because I've noticed for my babes that have like solid friendships, our relationship life is ass. I don't know what the study is behind that. Maybe it's literally just me, but I don't know. I just feel like I've talked to other people and they're like, got my ride or die day ones, but I cannot hold a relationship for jack shit. To the whole beauty of the yearning and the wanting that connection. I mean, we're programmed to. We are literally programmed by nature, whether you want to argue it or not. We are programmed to want that connection. We are programmed to want to be with other people. I mean, we are social beings, even though some of us are more introverted than extroverted. I'm an introverted extrovert, so I yap it up with anybody every day. And then also at the same time, I literally don't want to do anything with anyone. Just one of those things where we get that immediate panic when we feel like we haven't been chosen yet, or we haven't met our partner yet, or we see the people around us and we're like, oh, we're so happy for you, but how come I'm not finding this yet? I mean, it's always those questions like, am I not good enough? What is wrong with me? How come I haven't found my person yet? What do I need to change about myself? Which, in reality, are questions you should be asking yourself. Because, I mean, and I don't mean in the sense of, like, degrading yourself completely. Just in the sense of, is there a reason I'm not with, like, my specific person yet? Because there's something about me that I haven't unlocked to my full potential yet. You do need to put yourself first. Your dream partner is with your dream self. You know what I mean? You attract and you bring in what you are. So if you're in lower state of mind, even just about yourself or just about your life, you're going to bring in like-minded people because that's what you're just feeling safe with in the moment. Until you are, you know, get uncomfortable and realize like certain things about yourself and situations that you may be going through or have gone through that you can make peace with or begin to make peace with, you're just gonna attract the same things you're used to and comfortable with. Snap out of it, babes. We just gotta do it. And that's also like a big part of the reality of even like finding your person and like being okay with feeling alone and understanding that you're not a failure for being alone. Because I mean, you gotta get uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable thing, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you really just gotta sit down with yourself and just be like, damn, I'm literally by myself. The reason I say that is because you want to do that actually by yourself. Feel that feeling, understand like this is what it really feels like to feel alone. Sit with it, process it, understand it. It's really shitty. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Been there a couple times where I've literally been sitting right in this corner like, damn, I'm alone. But it's one of those things you just have to get uncomfortable with. Sit down. It's like a demon to face, except it's not really a demon. It's more like this is something that exists, that's always going to exist, because you're just going to always have those moments where you feel alone. You're not going to feel heard. You're not going to feel seen. You're not going to feel wanted. And, you know, when you accept those moments and can move past those moments, literally, you look at them and go, I know you exist, and I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, just get rid of it all, because it really doesn't matter. Like, once you accept that those uncomfortable feelings and those uncomfortable situations are there in regards to feeling alone and worrying about, you know, asking yourselves those those awkward questions, you will accomplish everything and more. When you also sit down with yourself and allow yourself to just feel alone and to feel not, in a way, distracted by craving that constant connection with someone, it's kind of refreshing because it also helps you like guide yourself to a more useful way of using your time until your person comes along, until you find your connection, your partner, that person that's gonna be your rock solid ride or die, you know? Personally, for me, I feel like little side tangent, but also not. I feel like for me personally, one of those things that I hate hearing is like, oh, well, you know, say you're talking to someone, it doesn't go well, and you're like, what? I don't understand what's wrong with me, what's going on, like, why is this not working out? And people always just go, well, you need to work on yourself. As someone who has always known myself and has always loved myself and works on myself constantly, I mean, I'm a girly with BPD, that's all I do. This thing's constantly going about how can I improve, how can I sound better, how can I look better, how can I act better. It's just how it is. It's like, anytime someone's like, you need to work on yourself and, you know, love yourself first, it's like, that's not the case. I feel like what we're not talking about is the fact that we need to accept that we're okay being alone first, so we don't have these abandonment issues. We don't get too clingy or too attached in a sense of like, we're so dependent on another human being to function. Because first of all, word of advice, always rely on yourself. Other people are your help, not your sole support. So learn that lesson the hard way. I just feel like, you know, it's not always about like loving yourself or not loving yourself, because I know plenty of people, myself included, that love themselves, are happy with their life and where they're at so far and have so much more to come, that they're like, okay, I know I want to be with a partner, I know I want to be with someone, but everyone's a pain in my ass. Like, and it's not because I hate myself. Like, I know my worth, and I think I'm beautiful, and I think I have, you know, a lot of purpose and a lot of worth in life, which all of you should think that, first of all. There's your reminder in case you forgot. It's not always about not loving yourself. Sometimes it's just about like, I feel like honestly it's really just about, sometimes you just have to like sit with yourself, sit with the boredom, sit with the silence or the uncertainty of like those uncomfortable questions as I mentioned prior, and just really like rack your brain and think like, I understand this concept. I'm starting to understand what it's like to feel alone, to not feel like I was lined up with everyone else, to feel behind and that like no one wanted me. But honestly, this moment is occurring, these thoughts are happening, these projections are occurring because this is a time for me to stop abandoning myself and to learn how to not be abandoned by myself. Sometimes y'all know the world gets crazy with how we fall and how we love and care for other people. So instead of saying like work on yourself or learn to love yourself, like this is your time to love yourself, I feel like what we should start saying is like loving yourself. Like, not loving yourself, obviously yes, love yourself, but instead of like taking the time for you or learning to love yourself, like obviously you should do that every day. What you should be taking the time to do is learning what you like, learning what you want to put up with, learning what your standards are, because honestly at the end of the day you have every right to have those. I mean, you know, realistically when it comes to relationships, you know, compromises exist, but it's also like at the same time, if you have things that you like and you prefer, fucking do it. If you really truly you should be as picky as you should ever fucking be, because if you are looking for that one person to lock in with you for your entire life legally, they should absolutely 10,000% be as fucking picky as you are. Like, the dots in the lines should line exactly up, like picture perfect between y'all. I think we should start saying to one another that maybe just learn what you want, learn what you like. You know, the point of dating is to meet people and figure out what you do and don't like. And that's also another reason why sometimes, like, you know, you may have met the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, and turns out there's some Joe Schmo, but it's like, okay, you liked this aspect of them, but not this aspect. Cool. Throw that one away and move on to the next. Like, we'll see what other things around this concept of what you liked about this person comes in the next person, hopefully more fulfilling and more with what you're looking for. Also, stay tuned. We have a Relationships and Exes podcast coming out soon. I'm thinking when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to post that one because, ooh, that one might give me a little bit of trouble. If there was, like, a solid 4 things I got out of, you know, becoming at peace and accepting, like, you know, being alone doesn't mean I'm a failure, which I feel like, you know, should radiate with the rest of y'all, is that not only that, like, I've learned to trust myself more than literally anybody else, even my closest friends. I mean, obviously I trust y'all. I trust you guys, but to a different level of, like, reliability. How to choose peace over chaos and how to protect your peace over chaos. Back to the whole, like, adjusting standards and whatnot. I've definitely seen throughout dating, like, some things I budge for, some things I absolutely will never the fuck again. The biggest thing would be, like, learning that I'm choosing whoever comes in my life next, and I'm choosing you to be here as a want. Like, I don't need you. You know, and I also feel like, especially for us hyper-independent babes out here, like, a little appreciation for the girlies that keep their makeup done, their hair done, their lashes done, pay their bills on time, and still fucking kick it. So the people that keep themselves up while still trying to keep up in life, mad respect to you. It's important to know, I feel like, those 4 solid things. And also, even another thing would be, like, to not force a connection. If you feel like you're going against the grains of something and it's not working, don't push it. Don't push it. Do not push it. I promise you, you're gonna fucking be annoyed. The more you stop trying to force anything, just in life, honestly, you'll become less reactive. You'll start listening to your intuition and understanding, like, okay, you know, this is not happening because it's not supposed to. That doesn't mean I should crash out over this. That just means, okay, well, this is clearly not what's meant to be working for me. So we take this, we remember it, we move on. I know sometimes that not everyone is as, like, a mature minded with things like this. But I really do feel like if you are genuinely out there hunting for the one and only for you, or if you even got out of a really shitty relationship and you just feel like you're, you know, that was the person for you and you're never gonna find anyone else, well, a couple things. If you're out there looking for your person, keep going. Because at the end of the day, there is 8 billion people in this world. Like, I don't really know what I believe exactly. I do believe you have a soulmate. I do. But I also believe that, you know, your soulmate is going to come to you when they do. Some people really think that, and I've been guilty as this too, like, to stem into thinking that you were already with your soulmate, you were already with that person, and then it ends, and it's like, I can't do this anymore. Not true. If anything ended, it was because it was supposed to. Your plans, and I've already said this, I said this once before, the world's plans didn't work out. It was not supposed to. Don't stay down, because I also feel like one of those things, again, into today's society especially, is we have become so hateful toward each other. Men toward women, women toward men, people toward people, because we're so pissed off with how the world is. But the only people that can really fix that and help start to correct it is us. You're in a shitty relationship, that doesn't mean go break another person's heart. I've been guilty. Again, relationship podcast episode coming out. I was hurt. And I said, well, guess what? It's someone else's problem. We got to stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to find that one person that's, like, so genuine. And you're going to be so mad from past bullshit that you're going to take it out on them. And it's like, now that person's going to spread the legacy. So it's just a trickle effect. And I really feel like we see a lot of this today on social media, how people are so lustful and just rude and disrespectful. And I really try to preach in my normal everyday life to like, just do not give up. Like, if you want a love life, if you want that, like, that singularity, that partnership, don't give up. And don't taint other people either in the process. I guess my final thing to kind of close out with y'all is, don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you're behind. Don't feel like, oh, well, because, especially for like my babes that are older and watch me, like, just because you may not have kids yet, or you may not be in a relationship, or you may not be dating, or even thinking about dating, don't let it dictate your life. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel like, the world's punishing you, or that you're failing because you are not where everyone else is, because realistically, it's everyone's first time in life. It really is. We are all people on this big old world trying to figure it out together. And it's gonna take a minute. And it's your first time being a teenager, first time being a young adult, first time being an adult, first time being a grandparent, parent, like, and it's going to be new for everybody. Not every season needs a witness. It's still gonna be valid if there's no witness, you know what I mean? If you are accomplishing things on your own, but you're still yearning for that connection, that one-on-one partnership, trust, I get that. That's exactly where I am right now. Just make sure you're not so drowned in it that, like, the only reason you're doing what you're doing is because you want that connection. Like, I know I said not to say this, but obviously love yourself. That's just a given. You should be doing that anyway. Sit with yourself. Let the being alone become okay for you, because it is. Because it's temporary. It is not forever. Unless you genuinely choose that and you want to be in like the Amazon rainforest in the middle of nowhere with spiders that could eat your whole face in. You know, we all have our things. That's what I got today. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're a failure. Controversial Crash Out episode 3. I love y'all so much for all the support on my channel. Happy New Year 2026. Let's kill it. You know me. Follow my socials. Miss Leah Jane on everything. TikTok especially. Let's hit 1,000 on Instagram this year. Let's do it. And let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I really like hearing feedback from you guys. It can be about anything related to the video itself. I know I'm a rambler, so I be going off topic all the time. Y'all don't gotta point that out. I know that. Like, what do you think? What's your opinion on, you know, being alone, especially if there's anyone who's older than me, because obviously this is a young mindset to this. But I'm sure that, you know, that feels really different if you're in your 30s and you're thinking like, wow, I really want to have kids, but I feel like I'm getting to that point where it's gonna be too late. But let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, follow me on all my social medias. I love you guys. Miss Leah Jane is